all the time. Ever feel like you've done everything right? Career, success, responsibilities, but somehow you're still utterly exhausted.
It's like you've built the life you were told to want, but it's burning you out. So what now?
Today's guest, Nicole Richards, walked away from a life that looked perfect on paper, but was draining her. She's here to tell us why stepping away isn't failure, it's the first step towards real success.
Make sure you stay till the end. Nicole reveals the number one myth about success that's keeping high-achieving women stuck in burnout. Let's get into it. Hi, I'm Claude.
And I'm Jess.
We are corporate employees by day, entrepreneurs by night, and work besties for life.
Join us as we explore how work besties lift each other up, laugh through the chaos, and thrive together in every industry.
Work besties!
Hi, Nicole. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here today.
As we mentioned in our opener, you took this step back because of burnout. What exactly caused you to do this?
Great question. Caused me to do it. I'm like, there's different levels to this, right? The last recent one where I said I don't need this job anymore is because I found my purpose in coaching others, right? I got my certification as a master coach last year and a positivity practitioner, trauma-informed coach, because I was trying to heal out of my marriage that had ended really abruptly to me. But when I look back at it, I'm like, it really didn't, right? If you really stopped and paused and looked at your life, let's be real.
It was there.
Yeah, it was there. And it's the same thing with the job and things like that. One of my biggest burnout, which is what I tell people is my purpose that has walked me through this life now, is I had a stillborn 5 years ago. And like being in the hospital during COVID, right? You don't have a doctor there. The nurse is helping me deliver. It was just all the things. I have a mask on my face. And I'm sitting here wondering, what the hell is this? I have done everything you've asked out of me, right? I have done the job. I've gotten married. I have this beautiful son, but this was my third miscarriage, my third loss. And I was like, you keep doing this to me. What is the purpose? And I kept trying to find the answer to this. And so along the way of my grief in that, I had a sisterhood that just found me, right? It was like a friend from here from work, right? And that's my work best friend who's picked me up. She has been at appointments with me on the phone or in person, just making sure I'm covered. She's come to my house after the loss just to hold me and cry with me. That's how that's so important, that community. And she ended up bringing a friend, and then someone else brought another friend. Next thing you know, I had 4 other women with me, making sure that I was okay. And it was just like, wow, like you guys took the time out of your day to see that I was okay. That's what like had the goosebumps tingling, right? And I've been chasing that for the last 5 years. I've been in coaching programs, I've been in masterminds, I go to networking events, and every time I've seen myself rise is because I found my people. So I'm like, why am I not taking that and doing that for others, right? I have all this wealth of knowledge as a coach and a CPA. Why not figure out how to do something for these women who have experienced loss in some kind of capacity, whether it's a transition of their career, right? People have lost their DEI roles and things. They don't know what to do next, or they've lost a loved one, or they've just lost themselves. So we're bringing that back and showing you there's other ways to survive.
So you're paying it forward.
Yes.
Your community helped rebuild you, so you're now finding ways for others to build their own community. That's fantastic. So we talk a lot about work besties, and our work besties tend to ask us a lot of questions about burnout. So how did burnout affect your relationships? And did it also affect your relationships at work?
Oh, yes. One of the reasons where I said, I don't need to do this anymore. I can go help people and just like not feel like I'm losing myself. It was the pandemic, right? We went into lockdown and we worked from home. And I worked for the federal government. So when President Trump came in January in inauguration and said, you have to come back into the building, and they had just gotten us back in like twice a pay period. So 4 times a month. I know I was very privileged. And I was like, absolutely not. I've been doing my job here at home really well for the last couple of years. You want me to go back into this building where people are going to be toxic, right? It's toxic culture, it's government, it's politics, it's all the things. I don't want that for myself, right? I have finally healed past all the nonsense when I really look back at my life and saw how like my ex treated me and how family members treated me and how jobs have treated me. I realized I need to have boundaries. And yeah, I refuse. That was my point. I was like, yeah, I'm not going back, y'all.
To put that in place, boundaries, because it's always so hard for some of us.
Yeah.
Institute.
Yeah, it's one of those things where when my boundaries were crossed, I saw myself go out of character. I didn't like who I was, whether I'm snapping at my son or I'm snapping at another person. And I'm like, wait, what's going on here? So now I do self-coaching. Where is this feeling coming up? What is this feeling that I got upset because I told them no and then they still showed up with this piece of paper? Why are they here? Right? What am I making this about? And when I tap back into something that's happened in my past, someone violated that boundary before. And this is why it's making me our nervous system remembers, right? We might have forgotten in the brain, but our body feels it, right? You might tense up in your stomach and you're like, oh, I don't like this feeling. I want to stop this. So is this worth my time and energy? Because I already told you no. So now we don't talk. It depends on the situation and the relationship, right? Like if it's someone at work, I had no problem telling them, no, I'm not doing that. You have to tell me why you want me to do this. You can't just tell me to put it on the job. We're going to have a conversation about it. Tell me the reason. Tell me how long it's supposed to take. Where is this on my priority list? Because you told me I was supposed to do this, right? As an employee, I show up and I do my job. When you bring these other tasks on, where does that fit? That's a simple conversation. If you can't answer that, go get somebody else. Get me someone who can bring me the answer, right? Because my time is precious, right? So that's how I start looking at my boundaries. My time is precious. I've lost a lot of time with all my grief. Now I'm focused on get the task done. Let me know what you need.
I love that. You left that fast-paced environment, which I don't know how fast-paced it was, but it definitely was a corporate environment. What gave you that courage to step away?
So I started my career in a mid-sized firm in Long Island, New York, Jericho to be specific. And then when I got married, we moved to Charleston, West Virginia, really Scott Depot, West Virginia. So going from New York to West Virginia, you end up not finding a job that matches New York, right? You try to take the first thing that you get. I ended up somewhere where we're going to talk about it. There was panel walls on a house, and it was a CPA firm. So I went from a mid-size that has cubicles and all the things to I have an office now, but you want me to throw out my trash, and people are giving me tax returns in a plastic bag with cigarette smells. I know that's someone's path, but I'm a little bougie. And this is not it for me. And me and that manager, because I'm very proud of my boundaries and my mouth, right? I said I'm not doing certain things, and he didn't like that. And we got into it at lunch. And I said, you know what? I don't need this. I'd rather be unemployed than deal with you, right? He started huffing and puffing, right? Because now he's mad that I put my boundaries up. He's like, give me back my key. I'm like, no problem. Here. I left. Halfway through the day, I didn't care. I was like, something's going to work out for me. And I say that because as soon as I got in my car, a headhunter already called me and asked me to come in for an interview with Ernst & Young. So I went from being at this little panel area where we were taking a chest and the old school, like, receipt tape. Like, he might as well have had the visor, right? Old school accountant. Like, no, I'm too fabulous for it. We're not doing this. So going to Ernst & Young, it was just like, I'm getting a small town feel, but I'm still with a big company. So I'm getting the benefits of learning a work-life balance, learning from my supervisors there, right? One of my favorite supervisors used to say, I don't care if you're going home to watch the paint dry. I want you to go spend that time with your family or go find the spouse that I'm going to go home to go to. I'm going home to my kids. And she put her boundaries in. She said, I'll pick this back up when they're in bed. So she'll work at 10 p.m. That was her prerogative. Me, I'm not doing that. But it was the fact that she gave me the permission, right? That was the most important for me, was to have leaders and supervisors for me who are always in that role. My boss, I loved her. She hired me sight unseen. She saw my resume and decided that I was qualified enough to get a government job, and I had never had government experience. And she took me in, and I learned so much from her. I mean, if she asked something and I challenged her, we could have a healthy relationship back and forth about it, right? And it was just like, wow, someone who's an adult.
It does happen.
I've never seen it before, though, right? Outside of the Ernst & Young experience. And it was just like, wow, this is what it's like to have a conversation.
Examples, the sign that when one door closes, something bigger is right around the corner.
Yeah. And I mean, there was stuff in between, but even though my boss is really good, she still has to deal with the politics above her, and she's only limited. I know you're trying to like help us and like be our advocates, and I see it and I appreciate it, but I cannot come back into this environment. And That's how that story was written.
So what made you go from that to then starting your current company?
So last year, my son is graduating from high school. I'm separated. I don't know what's going on, right? I was in the midst of, is this a burnout? I guess it is. Just trying to figure out what was happening. I was everything on Instagram, just doom scrolling, right? Trying to figure out life. And I ended up seeing a post about narcissism. And it made me realize how being an empath that I am, that feels a lot of feelings and picks up energy, I attract those type of people. Right. So even though I've told about my great supervisors, I have not talked about those other ones, right? The ones where you're like, there's not enough money in the world that's worth this. Yeah. So I looked at myself and I started being an adult. Let's do that. Quote unquote, right? I as a single mom working at Walmart, and I think my paycheck was $7.50 per hour. And I said, this is not sustainable for me and my son. And I had to swallow my pride, move back in with my parents, and go back to school. And I did that because I wanted a career, right? And it was like, oh, accounting 2008, everything else was crashing. This seems recession proof. I know we're in a current state of crisis. Whoever listens to that part, take it with a grain of salt. Don't just chase whatever's happening, right? Choose the thing that's in alignment with yourself. That's all I'm going to say with that. And going through that is just like, oh, I can do this, right? I went and did the accounting, and I said, I started with $50,000, right? Go from $7 an hour to $50,000. You think you're balling, right? Oh my gosh. And then the raises were like this and like that. And then I went to West Virginia and it dropped because locality changes, right? So now I got to go dig it back up. So when I went into government, that was the first time I got to six figures. And I'm like, it took this long to get to six figures and everything costs $50 million. Are you kidding me? So I picked up Rachel Rodgers' book, We Should All Be Millionaires. And that book was have $1 million vision, have $1 million plan, have all of this. And she's like, do what you want to do to get to your $1 million. And I was like, oh, no one's ever told me that before. Have my own dreams and ideas and not negate it and say it's not possible. Let's see what's possible. So between that and the Instagram about the narcissism, it all just clicks. How can I have a business that is in my zone of genius, that comes naturally to me? It is fulfilling. I have never felt this fulfilled. Like no matter how many T accounts I looked at, debits and credits, there was nothing that could have ever fulfilled me except watching a woman who looks stressed out and I say something, I ask a question and you see all the energy and everything lift off of her, right? Because it's like, wow, no one's ever asked me that. Wow, I never thought about that. You know what? When you asked me that, it brought back something in my past and I said, let's massage that out. Let's massage these feelings because we've been burying them and trying to keep up the busy work. And it's like, no, we need to feel these feelings, process them, and keep moving forward.
Question. Earlier, you said that you were a positive coach. Can you explain a little bit more what it is?
So a positivity practitioner is someone, we don't look at it as we're just all happy, right? We look at life as it is what it is. It could be worse. It could be better. There is no circumstance that's going to really make life, right?
Does it mean that you're looking at a more positive way of it is what it is?
No, I'm looking at it as it is what it is. How do you want to receive it? Do you want to sit here and be mad about the situation for the rest of your life, or are you ready to move on from it? Because you can sit here and be mad, right? I'm not going to force that. If that's what you choose, all right, let's sit with it, right? We're not saying that we're going to ignore it. We're not pushing it down. It is what it is. You're mad. I can't do anything about that for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The positivity is it's getting you past it. You're addressing it. You're positively talking.
It's just accepting it versus like saying, no, I'm not mad. That's the negative, right? You're lying. I don't even say you're lying, but
obligatory. I'm fine. We're fine.
No worries.
Yes. And all the worries in the world are sitting in your body. Yes. Feeling your neck, your back, your shoulders, your head. Yeah.
Your lack of sleeping.
Yes.
Is my issue usually. So Nicole, it sounds like in your new venture as this positivity practitioner that you work with high achieving, I assume, women. What red flags do they tend to miss that's causing them to come to you?
They can't see a break. They're like, I have to do all this. I don't have the time. You can see it because I've had it. When I start seeing myself move really, really fast or talking really fast, it's because my brain is still doing a whole brain dump of all of my to-do lists. And it's like, hold on, stop trying to leave the to-do list in your head and just write it out. Now let's look at what is really important. Some of the stuff we don't even need is not even our responsibility to carry, but we assume we're supposed to be carrying this load. When they sense that, it's like, oh, so can we just pause and realize that we're safe right now in this space to receive what we're about to receive, right? What is it you need right now in this moment? Is it you need a nap? Is it that you want to spend more time with your kids? Is it that you want everyone to leave you alone for 5 minutes? Because then let's go work on that, right? Let's not think about your to-do list, because the to-do list is not going away. It's not going to get done either. I want to find someone who's finished their to-do list. I would love to find that one person, right? Show me the list you finished. And like, we have to stop it. Because as soon as we do, we're like, oh no, I need to find more stuff to put on here. This list looks too light, right? It's like, why are we wired this way? But society has set us up this way. It's not our fault. It's literally like, I've been told when I rested, you're being lazy. Since when? Everyone else gets to rest, whether they're resting on a golf course or the spa in the middle of the day. I should be able to do that. I don't have to confine to this desk every single day, right? My part of my job is living and experiencing my life.
And allowing ourselves to not to do it and not feel guilty about it.
Yes. Taking the shame and the guilt away is the most important thing. We can't move past anything. We have to get past those thoughts about it. We don't see an end in sight. That's where my clients come in. They don't see an end in sight. They're like, well, when it settles, when it clears out, I'll do the next thing. I'll start my business. Whatever that next thing is, it's never going to calm down. When the storm stops, the next storm is right behind there. Matter of fact, there's a tornado in it. Some flooding, right? Like, it doesn't stop.
Yeah. I have to say, as you get older, you accept a little bit more about, no, don't feel like doing it. Some part, a little bit more.
I don't know. I think
there's a little mix.
Our other podcast, Gen Z and Gen Alpha for sure already have that ingrained. And it is a mentality that Gen X and older millennials definitely harbor, and maybe with age of them, but I don't think it's just when you get older. I think the younger cohorts have already figured that out.
That's true.
And I did meet with someone who was in their 70s today, and she's learning how to prioritize. She wants to learn how to prioritize herself, because she has put everyone else in front of her whole life. So it's not about being older at all. It's just you need someone to give you the permission. Like, no one never even thought about it. Oh, I never thought about that before, because no one's allowed you to stop and pause, breathe, and think.
It almost sounds like you have to work with them to stop old habits creeping in, right? Like, to recognize it, but then to stop it. What do you do to do that? Is there some type of mantra, phrase, or trigger that you help them through?
We focus on one event at a time. So we have that awareness that we have shame around. Let's say we're talking about the rest. We have shame around this. Okay, let's take that away. I understand that you feel it, right? But why? Where was the first time? What were you trying to do here? And I was trying to do all these things. I heard all the wins they had, but they can't even see their wins because they think of their to-do list. So what is it you want out of your next chapter? When we get into that, that's me saying, okay, you want to change, right? That's the CPA part. And then when I'm asking you why, that's your purpose. Why do you want this? What are we getting down to these layers? What is the reason for this? Just really trying to gauge it, right? Because I need to understand this when I say, all right, let's come up with a game plan. That's your action, A, right? And if I hear any objection come out of you, I now have the reason why you wanted to change, the awareness you had, your reasons why. So now you give me all these excuses. It's not adding up, because you're the one who said you wanted this. I'm not telling you what to do, right? I am guiding you through what you've already said, and I'm stopping you from having the negative self-talk. I don't let my clients beat themselves up, because I said I don't let my friends beat themselves up. So I'm not going to sit here and let you talk to yourself that way.
That's fantastic. That is so smart. Self-care isn't really being selfish, and you found ways to really prioritize that for yourself. How has honoring your own needs really helped you show up better in your relationships, whether personally or professionally?
It has been trying. When I first truly learned how to rest, I was miserable. It was not easy. So, this is going to be a piece of cake, because I'm used to like going on vacations and I love to travel. So I was like, no. And I was like, wait, I want my clients to kind of just sit and do nothing. So sitting in the house, I almost cried every day. It was almost like everything in my life just came out of nowhere and I'm shutting it out. I'm like, why am I crying? What is happening? I don't know what's going on. And then I realized it's a release, right? My muscles were so tight everywhere because I've been on the go, just moving. Now I'm sitting in silence. I'm hearing all the ideas come down. You can do this. You can do that. Where are you coming from? Like, what voice is this? Oh, that's my voice. Why are we this way? I just kept doing that, right? And I'm like writing notes to myself and I'm asking myself questions, right? I'm not just saying, oh, today I ate bread and then my son like didn't throw the trash again. I'm so pissed off. I'm like, why did I cry about something that happened 25? Let's see what those were. There's a model that I use. It's called CTFAR. So we look at that circumstance, right? What is the event that happened? In that event, it's like, what is that first thought you had? What is the thought that came up? When you have that thought, what was the feelings you have? For me, when I first started this, I didn't have feelings because that was not something that was allowed in my house. You're quiet and you're not. There's nothing else. So I didn't know how to describe my feelings. So it helps me and my clients to say, okay, what is your feelings you have? And it's like, I don't know, I'm happy. And it's like, oh, there's more to happy. It's like, are you content? Are you cheerful? And it's like, oh, let's drag it out some more. Are you optimistic? And it's like, oh, now I get to describe these feelings. From these feelings, right? So that's CTF. We go to A, your actions. Your actions determine like how you go about your day. Are you walking around more happily? Are you being more productive? What is it you're doing? And as a result of that, that's your result from all your actions. So for example, for me, I could say today is sunny. That is my thought about the day. It might be rainy over there. I don't know. I can't see your window. But this is my feelings about, right? My thoughts is like, it's sunny, right? And I enjoy the sun. I get excited about it. When the sun is out, I'm smiling, I'm waving at people, I'm so productive, right? I'm doing all these things, and as a result, I'm moving forward in my business. But if it was raining outside, Nicole is gloomy. She's like, oh, it's a relaxing day. Let's just go get under that blanket and be still. As a result, my business doesn't go forward. Nothing gets done. Looking at it that way and operate, I have to look at my life that way now. If we're going to go here and think about these thoughts, we got to realize what's the result of this. What is the result we want?
You were saying earlier, it was horrible that I could stay still at home. I wasn't used to it. How long did it take you to break this vicious circle where finally you were like, I'm okay to stay home and listening to my head and doing nothing?
I would say about a good 2-3 weeks of isolation before I said I need to reach out to someone else, whether that's a therapist, a coach, a friend, right? And it was like, oh, what do we need to do to break that stagnation? Resting doesn't mean you just lay in bed, right? It means we look at finding what joy is, right? I started going outside and moving my body in the house. Let me just do a quick dance off. When was the last time I danced to my music? I'm just listening to it, but I don't feel the music. How can I do other things? My coach tells me, sit down and have a meal and chew slowly. Put the phone down. You shouldn't be like picking up your phone and trying to eat at the same time. Go sit away from the computer. Go feel some fresh air for a little bit. What are those things that you can do to reclaim your time, reclaim your peace? Having that conversation with yourself to say, it's okay to be bored. It's actually fun to be bored because I get to learn so much about myself now. We used to do this as kids. You sit in bored, I'm bored. Well, go get a piece of paper and go color in a book. And then your imagination is just going wild at that point. You're finding something to do. And that's all I'm bringing us back to is our inner childs are calling us home.
So knowing that this podcast is about work besties and making sure the work besties help each other, how can work besties support each other when one of them is clearly going through burnout?
That's the one I struggle with right now. Even though I don't work there anymore, I know that my bestie, I left her behind, right? We've always had that plan. When you send the memes and things like, about to be out this job. We're leaving together. So when seeing her now, I'm like, I feel like she's burnt out. And a friend is like, there's boundaries there, right? I don't coach my friends unless they've asked me, right? So it's kind of like I sit here and I could give it from the coach's perspective, but I'm going to give it from the friends, the bestie friend. And you just be present and you check in, you call, you see them. If they're out of the patterns that they normally do, and if you see them not laughing the way they are, pick up the phone, have a conversation. Hey, so I was going through blah, blah. Let their minds escape what's going on in their life just for a few minutes and then say, what's going on? Because now their guard is down, right? They done heard your mess. Okay, what's going on with you? Oh, wait, what? Yeah, no, we're making this about you right now. Thank you for being there for me in my dilemma that I had. Now, can I be here for you? Hey, let's go out for a drink. Hey, let's go out for a food. Like there's so many things. Hey, let's do something together outside of the office. Even if it's for, like we used to take a lap around our building when our boss pissed us off, right? Let's go for a walk, right? We can go back and finish the day. We got this.
I think that's smart. You're giving examples of if when you're still working together, but also when you do leave, because a lot of work besties do go on to different places and do different things, but you can still be there for each other.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Why don't we shift a little bit and talk about retreats where you're getting a bunch of individuals together to help them? Can you give us a little bit of details around that and what's the intent of them?
Yeah, so the first one is going to be this October 10th through the 12th. It's a 3-day, 2-night in a private home in Virginia Beach, and we're going to keep it intimate with like no crowds, no overwhelm. The plan is to bring in a private chef and have a wellness experience and guided coaching sessions where we talk about investing in your health, wealth, and yourself. Every guest gets a rest and reset workbook to help them design a 90-day plan tailored for their life, right? It's structured, but it's like a gentle structure because I don't want to overwhelm them. We don't need more on their to-do list, right? They're already thinking about those things, but it's like, how do we get to the next level of clarity and peace and a strategy that honors their boundaries and their bandwidth? For example, I was telling one client today, I said, the goal is to practice boundaries, right? Like, we're going to learn how to tell people no. We're doing role plays, right? Because she's like, how am I? Wait, you just want me to tell them no? I'm like, yes. That's exactly what I want. Like, we're explaining is not necessary. And like most retreats that I've been on, it's always beneficial when the best one has been from my coaching experience. When I got my certification, we have this time as a community, and I became so close to these girls. All right, these are my sisters for life. When we talk about the work besties, the entrepreneur besties, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Someone who's on a journey, we don't know what we're doing. It's not like we're looking at an employee handbook and the boss is telling you what to do. You are the boss, right? Having that group of people together so they can have that moment where we're going to do this next thing. This next thing is what for me? Is it starting a new business? Let's do this together. Now we know each other. We know we're so invested. We're holding you through the journey. I met my sisters halfway through our journey. We have weekly calls. We have a group text. We have like 30 different group text chains and things like that for any event we're planning. Hey, who's going to this event? Or, hey, I'm going into this event. And it's just so beautiful, right? Because you see how, I don't want to say miserable I was, but I see my breakthrough, right? I see where my face was in the past. And I look back at pictures, I'm like, wow, that girl was so sad. But it's okay. She had a lot going on. But look at her now. Look at all these people who have like been around her. So that's what we're offering with this retreat, is giving her that moment to say she can do it. And then in 90 days, use a plan with somebody else. And my goal for this is to do this 4 times a year. The first one being Virginia Beach. The second one being in Jamaica next year in 2026. Oh, wow. And then doing a cruise in May from Barcelona. And then the last one is either going to be Asia or Africa. Yes, this is, I'm having so much fun with this part.
Sounds like you're getting to marry both of your passions with travel as well.
Yes. It's amazing.
And who would you expect would be core candidates to sign up for these retreats?
So it's those high achieving women, right? The ones who don't know to put something down and rest, right? This is normally like a first generation immigrant child. It might be the oldest daughter. It's someone who's like always had to take on everything. And it's like, no, girl, you don't. You don't need to worry about your brother's situation over there. Let him worry about that. You only have control over you and your life. My coach, right? Rachel Rogers, she's like, it's that easy to get to $1 million, but we're overthinking this process. So let me help you.
Sounds so exciting. I'm ready to sign up, especially for the Barcelona
or the Jamaica. I'd go to the Jamaica.
Oh, no, I would do Asia or Africa.
It's coming. I love
it. How can people find out more about the details of this, Nicole?
So they can go on my Instagram at Nicole Richards 718. And the information will be linked in my bio. They can email me at NicoleRichardsCPA@gmail.com.
This has been fantastic. I just have one final question for you. If someone is listening right now and they feel trapped in their high pressure job, or even in working in the government job, or maybe even just starting their own business, so they're secretly miserable, what's that one thing that they can do today to break free and have that more alignment in their life?
Get out of the mindset. It's the mindset. That was the first thing my coach said, Rachel Rogers said to me this year, was you can't get to your next level if you don't fix your mind. If you don't clean that up, like, you're just going to be fighting it. I heard that and was like, oh, I've been signing up for all these programs, trying to fix this. I want after the money. I just want to help everybody, right? That's how I was before. I want to help everyone. It's like, help everybody with what? I want to go on vacation with them. I'm a cool person with the right people. Who are they, right? So I was like, oh, okay. She said you can't do it unless your mind is not, until you clean up your mind. So that makes so much sense because my mind trash is really bad, right? I started thinking about I was like, where does that voice from? Like, as soon as I came up with an idea, no, you can't do that. Who's gonna come see you? How dare you? What in the audacity? So then I'll sit there and I'm like, okay. For me, I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur. And I didn't realize it, but I've always knocked it out of the contention. Right. Like from college, what are you going to do with that? Was all the questions people used to say. All right, well, I'm just going to get the sensible accounting job. But in my mind, I'm coming up with a business idea every time. I'm like, why am I coming up with these random ideas? Now I sit in it and I'm like, oh, it's because this was always my path. I kept listening to everyone else's voices. That was my mind trash. It wasn't me talking. It was everyone else talking in my ear.
Talking you out of it, out of what you felt was your design path.
Yep.
Fascinating. I love it. And I love the mindset of the mind trash. Clear that trash out.
Yes, don't throw it out.
I have to start doing it.
What I do. Yes. So like my inner child, so she has inner child wounds. And one of them is being unlovable or not feeling worthy. And so sometimes when she comes out with her mind trash and her negativity, and if I'm in the middle of a conversation, the way my coach did was like, put her in a seat. And how are we going to put her away? And I said, we're going to put her in a car seat in the back because she's a child. So we put her in the car seat. And then, right, so adorable. But then she keeps running her mouth. So we put on another strap and a muzzle. You better shut up. We don't got time for you. I have too many things in the future to worry about versus worrying about all the things that happened in my past. My past got me here. I am proud of who I am today. So thank you for how you showed up, but I don't need you. Think about how a child's in the back of the car and you got to turn around. Girl, if you don't be quiet.
You're a child. You're not going to tell me what to do.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So that's why we have to muzzle with some tape or something else. So I can see her. She's back there. Mm-hmm. She's like,
Nicole, thank you so much. This story has been super powerful and such a great reminder that rest is brave and allowed, and you should give yourself permission. So Work Besties out there, we are giving you all permission and the tools to pause, put yourself first. This is something you really need to think about and learn. Whether it's a full retreat, Nicole's got a lot of options. You might see us at one of them. Or even just that 15 minutes alone to journal or color, anything. It really just counts.
Yeah. And this week's calls to action is send this episode to your work bestie and ask, how are we making sure we are not surviving, but actually thriving?
Until next time, protect your peace and take care of you first. Remember, whether you're swapping snacks in the break room, rescuing each other from endless meetings, or just sending that perfectly timed meme, having a work bestie is like having your own personal hype squad.
So keep lifting each other up, laughing through the chaos, and of course, thriving. Until next time, stay positive, stay productive, and don't forget to keep supporting each other.